Good evening, I'm Amadin Ogbewe. Now on March 27, 2022, over 300 Abuja-Kaduna railway passengers were attacked by terrorists, killing 8 and wounding 26 others. It's been about 7 weeks since the incident, and most of the victims remain in captivity. On April 27, 2022, one of the victims, a pregnant woman, reportedly gave birth through the help of a doctor provided by the abductors. As the situation lingers, relatives of the victims have cried out for the government to do better and rescue their loved ones. Tonight, Hassan Mohammed, who has a younger brother in the hands of the kidnappers, joins me to share the pains of those who simply want to be reunited with their friends and families. All right, Hassan Mohammed, welcome to Top Talk.
Thank you.
All right, very simply, how are you doing? How are the families doing? It's been about 44 days and
46 or
46 days, and relatives are still in captivity. How are you doing?
Trying to be strong for the family.
All right. So now, to get a timeline of events from the moment you must have heard the news and you were contacted by whoever and you saw it, all the way down to this unity that we're seeing amongst the families. They're not scattered into pockets anymore where it's each person. We are seeing that the families have come together and are speaking as one. Give us that narration, how we got to this stage.
Well, in terms of families sticking together, victims, it's one of the things for us to do. We have to be united. We have to be supportive of one another. That's the families. We need to be supportive, and that's the only way we can get attention, and we can work collectively to get our family members back to us. It's one of the things to do. That is why you've seen this unity between the families of the victims. We've been trying to support each other. I'm not sure. We've been trying to support each other because the bandits, let's use that word for them now, the bandits have...
I call them terrorists, but...
yes, but let's use the word bandits for them. Terrorists have, even though they've spoken to us individually, but we have decided to speak to them and speak to the world collectively. It hasn't been easy for most of the families, not for all the families, not just for all the families. Have not been easy. It's in not knowing what conditions your family members are. The only thing we know from the last time we spoke with them was that they're sleeping in the open.
You spoke with who?
The bandits called us.
Okay.
Initially, for my family. Let me speak for my family. The bandits got in touch with us and told us, that is 2 days, 3 days after the incident, got in touch with us, and they told us, informed us that our family and my brother was with them, and then they will get in touch to us in future. Up until now, they have not called back. And this goes for most of the family members. They got one call each. Some got like 2, 3 calls, but for most of us, it has been just a call.
Right, but I still like to know, where were you when you found out about this, and what were the steps that finally led to the coming together?
Well, I was here in Abuja. My younger brother, he lives here partially.
Okay.
His wife works here. His businesses are here. He has a home in Kaduna. My mom and my parents are in Kaduna. That's where we grew up. And I got a call from a brother of mine, and the wife confirmed he was on board the train. Immediately, we tried to get informations. We searched for him. He wasn't at the hospital. His dead body, he was not among the dead. He was not among the injured, and he was not among those who were rescued. We were worried for the first 2 days. We were really, really worried. And it was the third day we got a call from the bandits. And subsequently, we tried to... Kaduna State government opened, I think, a portal or something. They shared a phone number. I called the number. We reported to them. The wife of my younger brother also did the same. Other family members did the same. From there, from Kaduna, the families decided to come together. All the families involved. We mobilized ourselves together. We got in touch with each other. And this is how we've all been working together as one.
All right. So now, before we go into more details about everything that's going on, the response we've seen so far, have the families had any sort of aid in terms of therapeutic aid or medical aid? Because some persons, we know that the victims themselves are going through a lot, but there is also a psychological strain on you, the families. So I wonder, as the government or anybody provided that assistance where someone is, evaluating you guys and helping you in that regard while other efforts are ongoing?
Absolutely, we have gotten no help from government in any way or any form. None. But typical African families, we have a way Africans, we comfort ourselves.
Yes.
We have to comfort our parents. We have parents.
Yes.
We have to. It is difficult for a father, an aged mother, to hear that her child is kidnapped.
Yes.
So we, the family members, have to comfort the parents, comfort the wife, comfort the baby. I don't really know how you tell a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old child that keeps asking of his dad. I don't know how you tell him the dad is away and the possibility of him coming back home alive. But typical African, the way we act in the families, we've been trying to. Some of us have to be strong for some.
That is true.
So we just have to be strong for the other family members, and it hasn't been easy anyway. It hasn't. We've had issues of family members who have fainted, who needed medication. Family members are also providing such medications, and we've had families that the parents are kidnapped and other family members have to provide for their children at home. So it's been family, extended family supporting supporting the victims. That's what has basically been going on. But for government assistance, none.
Yeah, that is where I was going with this now, because now from what you said, it's obvious that the community is helping itself. And, it seems to be the byproduct of what we're seeing these days, where people just do things for themselves. Yes. So, but that being said, can you go into a little bit more details as to how, take for instance now, you mentioned that bandits called once, and there has been the communication. What about government? Tell us more about how, the assistance is not there, and also how much communication is there between government and the families? Are they reaching out regularly, giving updates, or are you just in the dark?
Before our last press conference we had on Monday, we have tried several times as families of the victims to reach out to government. One of the reasons why we tried doing that was that the bandits informed us, the victims of the families, that they do not want to talk to the families. For us, the families, we were ready and willing to meet and talk and meet the demands of the bandits. I don't know, but that's the best thing for us to do. We can't go into the bush and fight the bandits. So the only thing is to talk and negotiate with the bandits. But the bandits have told us consistently before, to all the families, they do not want to talk to us. They want to talk to government. This prompted us, after like a week or so, getting to 14 days of our family members, of our loved ones in captivity, we decided to reach out to government. Several efforts we made, both in Kaduna and here in Abuja to get to government. This came to fruitless effort. The government officials were not really willing to talk to us. Why we were forced to do the first press conference. After then, the government, assured us. Then the president gave a marching order. We decided to wait and see what government will do. And up until when we were 40 days in captivity, government, we had nothing. So we decided to come out again.
So has it yielded anything? Do they even try to tell you directly, or they just go out and make statements and so on and so forth?
Just like every other Nigerian, we only read. We only read in the press, social media, that government said they would. Up until now, me or any other person in my family has not been contacted by government official.
It's quite sad to hear that, because a lot of persons, I believe you're in constant communication and they're telling you, okay, we'll be moving in on the bandits social time, we'll rescue, but I think it's sad to hear that. But now let's move to what the government did for the rail itself. Now, while we were expecting persons to be rescued, what we're seeing is that the rail has been fixed and is undergoing repairs and is pretty much ready to restart. I saw in one of the protests by the families that I saw some family members saying that the government should be ready to, mow them down with that rail because they're going to be there and they will not allow the rail move. So generally, how do you, I just want to get it from you personally, since you speak for the families, how do you feel about that reopening, especially as your relatives are still in captivity to this day?
This is, you see, the issue of reopening the rail lines again. For you to get people, this is simple. For you to get people to want to travel on that rail again, that will assure people, is if government had done something to free those in captivity, other people will have this will to travel by the rail track. Let me see. If you ask me to travel by that rail track now, I won't. Because what have they done to secure the rail track? What have they done to secure those that have been that are in captivity? What has the government done? You have not freed those in captivity. You have not shown enough evidence to us to prove that that train, to plight that rail line again, is safe. So how do you want people to, common sense, you tell those in government that for now, let's do some. This is not like the roads or when Dapchi girls or Chibok girls were kidnapped. The fear of Dapchi girls kidnapped and Chibok girls kidnapped. That's why you don't get to see boarding schools in remote areas up north in the east, northeast part. So how do you? I don't know how they reason anyway. I don't know, but to me personally, government should for now, not even reopen the train services. Let them do something about those in captivity. It will not assure the general public to use the train services. Personally, my own opinion.
Yeah, that's fair. You were speaking earlier about how the bandits said, the terrorists, kidnappers, said they want to talk to government and not the people. But I've seen reports that say that they want release of some of their people. How true is that? Do you have any knowledge about that?
Just like everyone, I also read. I also read. That is part of their demands. I have not spoken to the terrorists. All the terrorists have told us is that government know what their demands are.
All right. Now let's talk about ransom. You mentioned it earlier that that seems to be the course of action that would work for persons who don't have the power to fight back. But now we know that there is a bill in the works to criminalize ransom paying. What are your thoughts on that bill? Do you think it is... I would just like to know, what do you think about such?
My thinking is this. If the lawmakers who have proposed that law have their family members kidnapped, they would pay ransom. Let's be factual here. Let's tell ourselves the truth. If those lawmakers that proposed that bill have their family members in captivity, they would pay ransom. Because one, I've not heard of stories, or I've not seen where governments have gone to free kidnapped victims in Nigeria. And I'm yet to come across one incident where government went ahead and freed, got people who were in captivity, who were kidnapped, freed. If government is not doing anything, why are you passing a law that people cannot pay ransoms? How do you want people to get their loved ones back? I don't know. In our case now, from our last press conference, we said it, we made it clear. We are ready and willing to speak with bandits and meet their demands. I, for one, will be ready to pay, to get whatever bandits want, to negotiate with them and pay. I don't know if the law is going to prosecute me for that.
It's still a passing reading. What about the arguments people make that it would embolden them to continue their activities?
Yes, it will. But government should also, you see, one of the primary responsibilities of government is to secure lives and property. What is government doing to provide security to its citizens? What? You can't travel on the roads. You can't use the train services. You can't even move freely within the town. So how do you... These things are confusing.
I can imagine. So then, how did the families, yourself included, react to the release of the managing director of the Nigerian Bank of Agriculture? Because we hear, or reports say that there was some exchange of money, that led to that. I don't know. Is there a level of feeling of betrayal by the other families?
You see, that's the MD of Bank of Agriculture. His own is a bit controversial, and there's a bit of confusion in it. Just like every one of us, we read he paid ransom. Some said he claimed he was released on humanitarian and old age, but there is, in that same, amongst those that were kidnapped, yes, there's close to 90-year-old woman is there. She's older than him, and she's diabetic. Why wasn't she released? I don't know if you're following what I am saying. There's a case of, she's almost 80, she's aged, she can't walk properly, she can't walk unaided, she wasn't released, but the MD of Bank of Agriculture was released. There is someone there with shot wound on his leg. He's there. They didn't release him. There is a woman that is confirmed by doctors. She has to undergo cesarean operation for her to CS, for her to give birth. She's there. 2 pregnant women. One just delivered there. They didn't release them, but they released someone who's not up to 80 years old. And he is claiming it's on humanitarian ground.
I can see the confusion you spoke about there. But I would like to now know, who are your allies during this period? Who has helped? Because like you said, you've not got a lot of assistance from the government or any. But I would like to know, just so that people out there can know the sort of persons who come to aid, maybe bodies, especially foreign bodies. Take, for instance, during the Chibok incidents, which was a big deal, I think one of the reasons was because it was one of the first, and people all over, the world, not just Nigeria, their advocacies, even to this day, I think some of them still exist for Bring Back Our Girls. But since then, we've had multiple Chibok level events, this one is one of them too. So I want to know if you are getting that level of assistance from foreign bodies, from maybe even private individuals or anybody. I'd just like to know who your allies are during this period.
For now, our allies are the families of the victims themselves. It's honestly speaking, the families we've been supportive. They've been supportive. We've been supportive of each other. The first allies are the victims of the families, are the victims of the kidnapped AK-9 trained victims. Honestly speaking, it's like a family affair. We've been very supportive of each other collectively. The ones in Kaduna, the ones in Abuja here, we've been so united. We are the ones giving ourselves support. When you talk in terms of support from individuals, government, none. We've gotten a few sympathy from few people who, like when we go to government, try to see government officials, top government officials, you just get some civil servants there, yeah, sorry, that's all. But aside this, to the best of my knowledge, I don't know any other. We've gotten tremendous support from the press. I need to mention that here. Members of the press have been very, very, very helpful in getting sympathy, in putting our stories. Press has been our number one ally for now.
I'm happy to hear that. It's good news, even in the midst of all this news. So now I'd just like to know, the government is not assisting, but I would like to know if there are any obstacles you've faced. It's one thing to not assist. It's another thing to block you and say, what, these things you are doing, they might lead to something else, go home. So I'd like to know, have you encountered any of that? Has anyone tried to dissuade you or make you lessen your advocacy for the release of your relatives?
Before the first press conference we had in Abuja here, we wanted to just come out and do a peaceful protest. We were stopped at the Unity Fountain. We were chased away by the security agents stationed there. So that's one obstacle. The other one is whenever we try to reach government, government officials should make themselves available. Once we try to reach them, they bluff. They ignore us. One was, sorry to mention, Senator Ogbewe Sola Saraki, the junior minister in the Ministry of Transport. We were treated badly when we tried to see her. We were treated badly. I mentioned that here. It wasn't nice. From the Railway Corporation, they've not been, the Nigerian Railway Corporation, they've not been sympathetic. Just one top government official there was very, very nice to us. I can't mention names here. He was really nice, but from the corporation on its own, they've not treated us. Our loved ones that were kidnapped were their clients. They should have treated us better than they are doing right now.
That's true. All right. Now, you mentioned before that it seems like your focus is more to speak to bandits now, or terrorists, rather than the government. Let's just assume by some miracle, because I don't know how much access they have to television and all that, but let's assume they are watching now. What would you say to the assailants themselves?
Let me first correct one impression there. We want government assistance here. Not that we don't want. We can't do it. Some of us might not be able to. We not that we are rich. We are not. We're not rich people. We're just ordinary citizens. So we probably might not be able to meet whatever the bandits are demanding from us. Financially, we might not be able to meet that. So, but we need government assistance here. We need government to help us here. First, let me correct that impression that we don't want. We need government's assistance. That is why we are doing all this. We are asking government, please talk to them, negotiate with them. Whatever you can do, this is a security issue. So government might really not want to tell the world what they're doing, but for crying out loud here, over 40 days, people are in captivity, something should have been done. Security-wise. Even if you can't tell us, you can't tell the public, you can at least give us, the family, government can at least give us, the family, some level of confidence by telling us certain things, probably periodically, or trying to reach out to us. You mentioned earlier, if we got any help, health-wise, some of these victims need medical helps. You mentioned some the other time, like therapy stuff. Yes, government could provide things like this. Kaduna State government, that this happened in their domain, what have they done aside treating people that were injured? Those ones, yeah, good. What about those whose families were kidnapped, whose loved ones were kidnapped? What have they been doing to those people? This is where we need government help here. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Yes, we're willing to talk to bandits, but at the same time, we are asking, first priority is, please government help us. This is what we are.
But is there anything you would like to say to the assailants right now?
The bandits, yes, we are pleading with bandits to have mercy on us. They should pity those that are with them, and also pity us that are their families. It's not been easy. They're sleeping in the open. We don't know what they're eating. We don't know the condition they are in now. Some of them are diabetic. Some of them need medical attention, medical help. So we're pleading with the bandits. We're seriously helping, and we're asking people to help plead with the bandits to come to our aid.
Right. Now, is there anything you would like to say now to your own families who are still being held now? If they could hear you now.
They should stay strong. We're doing something for them. We should stay strong. And we know they're strong. We're praying for them. We're praying for them seriously. We know it's going to be well with them. We know God is going to somehow provide, somehow a miracle is going to happen. We believe that. We believe God will do something. God will use people to do something that will favor us and favor them.
All right. I hope so too. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much
for coming on the program.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.